And we begin today's video looking at one of the most recognizable signs in all of sports, Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dark Wire Films here on YouTube. I'd like to welcome you to Wrigleyville in the north side of Chicago, Illinois. We are outside Wrigley Field. First opened in 1914. Wrigley is the oldest baseball park in the National League and the second oldest park in all of Major League Baseball, second only to Fenway Park in Boston. It was originally opened as Weigman Park for the owner Charles Weigman, later renamed Cubs Park in 1921 when William Wrigley took over the controlling interest in the team, and later in 1926 it was renamed to Wrigley Field. A lot of events have gone on here over the years. For a long time, several decades actually, the Chicago Bears actually also played here until they moved to Soldier Field. The park has hosted Northwestern and University of Illinois Land of Lincoln Trophy games. It's also hosted the NHL's Winter Classic. A lot of concerts take place here, as well as right now they're doing a upper deck golf event. It's been going on for the last 3 days, and where players walk around the stadium and try to hit balls into the field, which is kind of a twist, where normally players are trying to hit balls out of the park instead of into it. And as we get a little bit further up here at the concourse at Wrigley, we're coming up to Gallagher Way. A nice little park and pavilion area here at Wrigley, where they also host some events. They do movies in the park, shown on that big screen up in front of us. Also, they have concerts here every once in a while, vendor events, a little fountain right here where kids can come and play and have fun in the water. Also, towards the back of Gallagher Way is some statues of Cubs Hall of Famers. And we're going to make our way over there and take a look at them. Gallagher Way is one of the newer additions here to Wrigley. Turn around and get another shot of the park itself. Wrigley is on the National Register of Historic Places, meaning that only minimal changes can be made around the park, but no changes can be made to the park. And just like with Fenway, also on the National Register, only Mother Nature herself can do anything to tear this park down. And you see in the distance one of the sets of bleachers for the Wrigley Rooftops. We're going to be going around to them here shortly. And make our way back around the outside of Gallagher Way. It's a nice, comfortable day here in Chicago. Yeah, it was raining a little bit earlier, but the weather has cleared up. Nice little grassy area set up like a baseball diamond, where kids can also play. I was here yesterday when I got off work, and there was actually some people out here playing bags. The kids were playing. People will come out here for picnics and just enjoy themselves. And try to do as much talking as I can over the music that's playing right now, so this video doesn't get a copyright strike. As we come up to the first statue, we have Fergie Jenkins, Canada's very first Hall of Famer. He had a lifetime ERA of 3.34 and registered 3,192 strikeouts. He played 12 of his 19 seasons here at Wrigley. Correction, 10 seasons here at Wrigley. The rest were at Fenway. Now we come up to Mr. Cub himself, Ernie Banks. He had 512 career home runs and more than 40 home runs in a season 5 different times. He had a record of 5 Grand Slams in 1955 and was the first to be elected the National League's most valuable player 2 consecutive years in 19. Restaurants here, the Cubs store, Cubs Golf, and the Budweiser Brick House down on the corner. And depending on who you ask, around here in Wrigleyville, around Wrigley Field, there are anywhere between 45 to 90 different bars where you can go and watch Cubs games and enjoy some drinks and some good food and enjoy the games. As we're coming up on the backside of Gallagher Way onto Waveland. We are looking at the Wrigleyville Fire Department directly ahead. And we get our first look at the Wrigley Rooftops. There are numerous buildings here around the backside, the right and left field sides of Wrigley Field, where there's bleachers on the top. 11 of them are run by one company, the WrigleyRooftops.com, where fans can pay a flat rate to come in, enjoy all you can eat for the entire game. Doors open an hour early. They have brats, hot dogs, burgers, grilled chicken breasts, Italian beefs, nachos, even veggie burgers, and for people with dietary restrictions, they even have gluten-free options. And it's also all you can drink until the end of the 7th inning, that is. Now, the rooftop buildings originally started just with people that lived in them, putting their chairs on top of the roofs to watch the games. And over the years, they evolved into what you see now. And they also do run tours here at Wrigley Field inside the park. I'm looking into that as well to see what can be done to take all of you, my viewers, into the park and get a look there. But just walking around the outside of the park, you can feel the history. Right here at the corner of Waveland and Kenmore, you see that tree right across the street. That is the area where, as a kid, friends and I would hang out during Cubs home games, waiting for home run balls to come flying over that wall. And also here at Wrigley Field, on the outside of the park, they have what I like to call the Walk of Fame, where they have names of former players and personalities with the Cubs, immortalized in stone. Rick Sutcliffe, and also individuals can pay to have their names put on these bricks. Put a little saying that you want on there, dedicated to a family member. And here we have another plaque for Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub. And here we look at one of the other rooftop buildings on the corner of Waveland and Sheffield. Another name baseball fans will recognize, Rogers Hornsby. Another plaque for Fergie Jenkins. And Mordecai Brown. Billy Herman. And I have also purposely wait a couple minutes and I'll let the L train go by. That's the red line headed to 95th and Dan Ryan. Look across the street at Murphy's Bleachers, a legendary bar here in Wrigleyville. But I had purposely kept the camera pointed towards the ground for one more statue that we have here at Wrigley Field. It was dedicated April the 12th, 1999 to Mr. Harry Carey. Began his career in St. Louis with the Cardinals, then came to Chicago as the voice of the White Sox, and finally, I like to make the joke that with the other teams, he was in the minor leagues, and he finally came to the big leagues when he came to the Chicago Cubs. Harry, of course, was known for his distinct voice and for his rendition of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." And you'll have to forgive me if I get a little choked up talking about Harry, because he was the best. And we go a little bit further down. We are off Waveland and onto Sheffield Avenue. You see the rooftop building there for Murphy's Bleachers. And we have some more plaques here on the Walk of Fame. Ron Santo. Some of the other rooftop buildings here around Wrigley Field. This one, with the red brick, is personally one of my favorite Wrigley rooftop buildings. And also, for anyone that has Netflix, there is an animated show called Chicago Party Ant that is based in this building. Although the interior is definitely not like it is on the show. But the windows on the third floor can open where you can hear the roar of the crowd. And also the bleachers on the roof. A couple of the other rooftop buildings that we see as we walk down Sheffield. And people do still live in the bottom floors of most of these buildings. See a painted statue across the street, lovingly named Barry Carey. And it is an unusually quiet day here at Wrigley due to the Cubs being out of town for the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game. They're actually playing the New York Yankees today and tomorrow. A couple of the other better buildings for the rooftops. Just like the other building, the front windows on this one open. And then there we have 3609 Sheffield, another one of the favorite buildings for fans. Take a look back down Sheffield at some of the sights around here. And as we get back around to the corner of Addison and Clark, to the Wintrust right field gate, we see another new addition to Wrigley Field this year, a DraftKings Sportsbook, restaurant, bar, and booking house where you can also enjoy the games. The Lucky Strike Social Club, bowling alley right above the Chicago Harley-Davidson, and also on the corner we have a Sports Corner, another rooftop bar here at here in Wrigleyville. And Wrigley Field is not only known for just the baseball games and the football games and hockey games and concerts that are done here. It's also been featured in several movies. One of the first ones I can remember was the original Blues Brothers. It was given as the address of Elwood Blues on his driver's license. It was also featured in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the Tom Hanks movie A League of Their Own, where it stood in as Harvey Field for the all-girls American Baseball League. And it was also featured in the movie Rookie of the Year, about the young boy that broke his arm. He was a lifelong Cubs fan and wound up being the only 10-year-old pitcher to ever play for the Cubs. And we're getting back around to the Clark and Addison side of Wrigley Field. You see, they also have the Addison and Clark luxury apartments, convenience stores, some more sporting goods stores. Across the street, you see the Cubby Bear, another restaurant and bar. We have a Sports World, fan apparel and souvenirs, CVS Pharmacy. Down the street a little bit is a Taco Bell, and also being built at the moment is a Culver's, famous Midwest fast food restaurant. I don't know. And we see along a lot of the signs here on the poles outside Wrigley. We have pictures of a lot of the players. And we're going to stop right here because it looks like they're doing a photo shoot for a wedding. And I hope everyone has enjoyed this short little video walk around here at north side of Chicago at Wrigley Field. I've been doing a little bit of research on some other places, movie and TV show filming locations, other places to go to, and got the Chicago Cultural Center coming up soon. And also, I have just about found every location from the filming of the Blues Brothers, as well as Ferris Bueller. So we're going to be traveling to those here soon. I'm still looking for the Married with Children house, and also the neighborhoods used in Christmas with the Cranks and the National Lampoon's Vacation movie. So just subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever new videos are uploaded. If you'd like to help the channel out, just click on the link down below. It has links to all of my other social media, all the other outlets that I'm on. Also, please do like, subscribe, and follow. And also, there's a link to the channel's Cash App if you'd like to donate to the channel to help out with some of the traveling expenses. I'm not asking anyone to, but if you'd like to, it would be greatly appreciated. So I'm going to cut this video off for today, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one.